To many, this area along the western spur of Central Park may look like any other, right?
Seneca Village is one story. There are millions and millions of these same stories.
But to Reverend Audrey Williamson, a minister at Harlem's Mother AME Zion Church, this is hallowed ground for her congregation's history.
Mother AME Zion is in fact the oldest Black institution in all of New York State.
It once stood proudly in Seneca Village.
It was the center of the community.
An area from West 83rd to 89th Streets that took shape in 1825, long before Central Park, a vibrant community of free African Americans.
There were a lot of African Americans living in downtown Manhattan, and people believed that African Americans started moving up here, which was really far from the centers of population, to really escape the racist climate.
At the height, Seneca Village boasted over 225 residents, 50 homes, 3 churches, and a school. And owning property was a big deal. It meant you could vote.
Residents had gardens as well, and sheds and barns.
But 30 years into their growing community,
Beginning in the 1850s, the city began planning Central Park.
through eminent domain, the city paid every person to up and leave, essentially kicking them out.
Do you know how much they were paid?
There are some letters that say less than a few $1,000s.
This is kind of the first original eminent domain, but we see that again and again, right, with Black and brown people, poor people, where they are moved from one place to the next.
The church and the village's history all but vanished until the 1990s, when researchers started diving into census records and maps, and then
In this area, we found the foundations of the Wilson family home.
archaeologists like Meredith Lynn did what they do best, excavated part of that land.
So you never know what you're walking on, right?
It's exactly.
Walking on history.
And found deep in the earth, 2 centuries later, remnants of Seneca Village.
We found remnants of dishes, of drinking cups, teacups, a toothbrush handle, a coin, buttons, hooks and eyes from clothing, a shoe, all of the kinds of things that made up their home.
It wasn't a poor community.
It was not a poor community.
Today, there are temporary signs telling this chapter of history.
When you look at this sign now and you see like what once was, what do you feel?
My first feeling is just being eternally proud of my people.
Signs that she hopes will stay and serve as such an important reminder.
To always remind us that someone had to give something up in order for you to have what you have.